In today's video, I want to show you this cool new instrument I picked up recently. It's called a Minichord. Now, some of you taking a look at this instrument's design might be thinking about the original Omnichord that was released by Suzuki back in the early 1980s, and you might be thinking this is just a baby version of it. For those of you unfamiliar with the Omnichord, check this out.
But first and foremost, the thing that it does. You hold a chord, it makes a noise, and you strum.
So the Omnichord became very popular with either beginner musicians or even non-musicians who just simply wanted to follow along with a chord book and strum with matching melodies, or even sing along with their favorite songs. So as mentioned at the beginning of this video, this is a Minichord, and although its design and function is similar to an Omnichord, it really has some of its own unique features. So let's take a closer look. To turn on the Minichord, you'll need to plug in a 3.5mm jack headphone set or a cable with 3.5mm over to a speaker or an amplifier. As soon as you plug it in to the hole over here, the Minichord will turn itself on, and you'll be able to begin playing chords and strumming out melodies. There's three distinct sections to the Minichord. This section over here are all your chord buttons. This section here is your strum zone or touch zone, where you can strum or play individual notes. And this last section over here has different volume controls, so the volume for the chords, the volume for the strums, as well as effects such as reverb and tremolo. And then over here you can scroll through different sound sets. There's 12 internal presets, so you get 12 different sounds for the chords and 12 different sounds for the strums. Just for some examples. Now some examples of the strum sounds. So let's talk about the chords for a moment. You notice the very top row, you have these chord buttons that have letters on them. This corresponds to all the major chords. So we have F major, C major, G major, etc. The row immediately below is the minor corresponding chord. So instead of an F major, we have an F minor. Instead of C major, C minor, etc. The next row is the corresponding seventh chord. So instead of an F major, we have an F7. You can also combine different buttons together. So we can take this F major and then do a F major 7 chord. C major, C major 7. Again, you can do the same thing with the minor chords. So F minor, so an F minor 7 chord. Now, some of you who know a little bit about music, you might be wondering, well, what about your sharps and your flats? So instead of an F chord, we can actually hit this button over here at the same time to make an F sharp. So this would be F sharp major, so not F, F sharp major, F sharp minor, etc. C sharp, G sharp, and of course, a G sharp is the same thing as an A flat. So your sharps and flats are all covered. One other button in the chords section is this button over here. So you notice so far that the chords have been playing as long as I hold down the button, and as soon as I left off, the sound dissipates. Well, if we press this button here for 1 second, lights this up, now it's a chord hold button. So it'll hold that pretty much indefinitely. But also inside here for the chords, we have an arpeggiator. What that means, it'll take the notes of the chords and play it one note at a time in different patterns. And each one of the presets has its own pattern. So to activate the arpeggiator, you'll hold this for several seconds and then lift off. And you'll see that the light is flashing and you can hear it's playing a different pattern. And as you scroll through different presets, you'll notice that the patterns are different. Now, if you're not happy with the speed of the arpeggiator and you wanted to, let's say, speed it up, you can start tapping on this button and it'll actually increase the speed. Or if it's too fast, it'll slow it down. To turn off the arpeggiator, you just press and hold for a couple seconds, and there you go. You're all done. Now on to the strum plate. So the strum plate will play notes in accordance to what the internal sounds are set at. Sometimes they're a pentatonic scale. Other times it can be a chromatic. It all depends, like I said, what the internals are set up. And again, you can control the volumes between the strum plate and the chords. Like here, I'm turning down the strum sounds. Or here. So you can adjust a nice balance between the chords and the strums. You can hook up the Minichord to a computer via USB-C, and you can actually go to a web page where you can go in and you can totally customize all of these sounds. These are synth sounds. This is like the old vintage type synth sounds where you start off with a waveform, play around with filters, low frequency oscillators, etc. Add tremolo, add reverb. You can adjust the attack, the sustain, the release. You can really customize the Minichord to your liking. So here are a couple of song examples I've done recently on the Minichord. So one last comparison between the Minichord and the Omnichord. Besides being about 1/4 of the size of an Omnichord, it's also about 1/4 of the price, which means this is very affordable, a great way for beginner or even non-musicians to get into playing music, as you've seen. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.